reason why we moved here is a couple reasons. One, of course, the courthouse at 8th and Cumberland Street was removed, which was a shame, but progress happens. And this building out front here was the original courthouse for the county. When we first came into being in 1813, the courts met in our building up front on the second floor. James Buchanan also practiced law here in this building, and we do have record of that, clearly record of that in the records of the courts. John Andrew Schultz, who was our, what I call our first county official, he was the person responsible as the clerk of orphans court, register wills, that type of thing. He also, prothonotary, he also lived here in Lebanon too at the time, but then later went on in the 1820s to be our governor, only governor from Lebanon County in Harrisburg, and served 2 terms. So we are very fortunate to have some of this really deep historical roots here in the community, of course. And we're not just for the city of Lebanon, we are the County Historical Society. So everything you see here relates to the county. We do have a pretty good concentration on the city with different things, but we do have a lot of things too from the county as well, which is on the 28th of this month at 9 o'clock in front of the courthouse. I invite you to come out for that. There is a downtown event that's happening. I guess it's their art fair, or we thought we'd do it in the morning early enough that then people could go from there then up to the art festival. So we do have a time capsule. If you get a chance when you leave today, take a look. It is in the museum shop, and what you see there are all the items that are going to go into the time capsule. We are actually going to make a record of all that. We're also going to record it in the Recorder of Deeds, that type of thing. And we do have a spot already selected and ready to go. It actually has the vault in it and everything that it's going to go in. And we also are just about done with the granite marker that's going on top. So if you have a chance, please come out for that. I think that'll be a really good event. And this wooden box really represents one of the industries that contributed to Lebanon County's growth and prosperity in the iron and steel industry. Of course, iron and steel was here before our county was formed in 1813, but it actually really took hold and blossomed in this county well after 1813 as well. Throughout the 19th century, there were a lot of forges, furnaces, places where iron and steel were either produced, and then also with pig iron, of course, at the Cornwall furnace, and places such as it, they would take it and actually make it into other things like plow plates, sash weights. In your old windows, they would actually have heavy weights to keep the window up when you pushed it up. Those kettles, sort of pans, that type of stuff as well were cast, including munitions. And of course, the Cornwall furnace is very important in our area, just for the simple fact that it is a very, historic spot, of course. It's been there since the 1740s. The ore mine, of course, next to it was mined for 242 years, which is a very long time. It was one of the largest ore deposits east of the Mississippi. And it actually represents our contribution from the county-wide situation, specifically before the county was formed, to the Revolutionary War. I'm not sure how much Civil War was done there, but I know there were munitions made for the Revolutionary War, of course, at Cornwall. But we can be very happy and pleased that we have that site here, because it's clearly not a recreation. It is evolved over the years, but what you're seeing is the original, and an original process that was produced, or the original cold blast process for making iron and steel. Have a chance and haven't been there, by all means check it out. Okay, basically with the Bethlehem Steel, they were involved in Lebanon County about 1916-17, and it ended in about 1985 with the official closing of the plant. I found a newspaper article that said the plant was going to close the end of that year. They acquired a number of facilities in Lebanon, Annville, and Cornwall during their existence, including the plant of the American Iron and Steel, which was a large portion of what the Bethlehem Steel was when it purchased it here in the county. They also owned Millard's Quarry towards the end, back in the 60s, mid-60s, they purchased that. Of course, you needed limestone for the production of iron. They owned the Lebanon concentrator plant. They also ended up with the Cornwall Railroad and also the ore mines. They acquired the American Iron and Steel, like I said, in 1917. And basically, we were a fastener producing facility. So we made nuts, bolts, railroad spikes, things for the mining industry, that type of stuff. But anyway, their annual capacity at that time was between 75,000 and 80,000 net tons of finished material. The mills had a finished capacity of 180,000 net tons of finished bars. These same plants were enlarged and updated in the decades up to World War II. And actually during the 60s, they were updating some of the equipment at that point as well. And again, the Bethlehem Steel closed in 1985.